Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Love what you drive. Today we have a special one for you. We'll have firsts on this channel, and this is a first one in Florida. And I think first one, what, almost 7 a.m.
Yep, just about.
We got my friend Kyle over here, and where are we at?
We're actually in Claremont, Florida.
Claremont, Florida. We are waiting. The sunrise is already up, and he's got a car for us to show and share. What are you driving? Tell us everything about it.
So this is the 2007 Ford Crown Victoria. Pretty iconic. If you're watching this channel, you know exactly what kind of car it is. This one has about 202,000 miles on it on the frame. Most everything else on the car has been replaced except for the engine itself. This one's an ex-Tampa PD vehicle, so this one used to be used by Tampa Police Department down in the shoreline. It's very clean. It used to be a detective's vehicle. It didn't have any holes in it except for the one antenna hole in the back. Didn't even have the push bar on there. That's something I added just because they don't look right without them. But no spotlight holes, no holes in the top for a light bar. That's the original paint that you're seeing on the vehicle. That blue is actually called Royal Blue, paint code LM.
LM? What is that? Royal Blue?
Royal Blue.
Oh man.
And for the original paint, I'm actually surprised how decent it is. So I cut it, buff it, clay barred it, did all the prep work, and then I actually ceramic coated it. So that's what gives it that real deep shine now that it has. Yeah,
this thing definitely shines from a mile away. Royal Blue. Okay, how long have you had this car?
I've had this car for almost about 2 years.
2 years. How many miles did you put on it?
I put about 45,000 miles on it. I had about 160,000 when I got it.
Okay, nice. Yeah, just from the looks of it, this thing is definitely shining.
That's one of the things I'm meticulous about on a car. It's got to have shiny paint on it, otherwise it's not mine.
Otherwise it's not yours?
Yeah. And even right now I'm looking at it and I see all the dirt on it. I just haven't had a chance to wash it.
Yeah.
Normally it just sits in the garage, so.
Yeah, for the viewer, it's going to be like, wow, that's a clean car. For the owner, it's like, oh, there's a dent, there's a scratch.
Yep.
There's
the camera doesn't pick up the swirl marks that we see. It's one too many passes in the automatic car wash.
Some guy calls it a 10-footer. It's nice from 10 feet away.
Exactly.
Okay, what have you done to the exterior of the car since you got it?
So it had some kind of like wigwag antenna in the trunk. I replaced it with that little puck back there just for a cleaner look, less protrusion from the trunk itself, just a twist on there. The push bar, of course, I installed that on there. Other than that, just paint restoration. I painted all the rims, of course, a couple of times because they were pretty faded.
A couple of times?
Yeah, a couple of layers of paint on them, prime, paint, and then clear. But at one point I want to get them powder coated just down the road. It's not really anything that is needed at this point in time. Okay,
so it came without the push bar?
Yeah, the push bar was not on the car. I had to actually get that online. I actually found a local guy selling it on Facebook Marketplace. He was trying to install it on a Taurus, but it's not designed for the Taurus, so he gave up.
Okay, is it one of those police Tauruses?
Yes, but it's an older model. He was trying to install it on like a box body, square body Taurus. Probably butchered the description of that, but it definitely isn't one of the new ones.
Okay, so this is what brand of the push bar?
That's Go Rhino.
A Go Rhino brand. Okay. I'm used to seeing the Satina brand all over the.
So most Tampa PD cars, if it's a marked car, they actually have the Go Rhino on there with the full wraparound. So you'll see kind of the markings on the bumper from the full wrap, just because I had them on there at one point, but I decided I just didn't like the look of it.
Okay, and you're the Night P-71?
Yeah, so that's the nickname for the car, is Night P-71. It was a little custom tag I had made online. I put the little cover on it, kind of make it last a little bit longer, because it's not printed out on metal. It's more of a sticker they put on there, but still like the look of it.
Okay, what are you running for your lights?
So they're the halogens, but they're on the higher end, so they're supposed to mimic HIDs, because if you put LEDs in these headlights, I know some people say it works, some people say it doesn't. From my experience putting LEDs in a non-LED housing, it does not work. So I just found the highest brand that you could find for the halogen replacement, which are HID mimickers.
Okay.
And they're pretty bright. They'll light up the entire roadway, and then some.
Yeah, the LEDs for these cars they just flood the whole housing and flood people's faces. I've done a few reviews, so I know. Yeah, and those housings themselves, the actual headlight housings, I've had to replace those when I got them. They're completely yellowed over, just not able to be saved. Those look like they're brand new. They're actually about a year old now. Wow, that's nice. Okay. So the paint's been cut, buff, ceramic coated, and all that. Good
Yes.
stuff. Okay, what are we running for your tire and wheel setup?
So the tires is of course the regular rim on there. I've got 235, I think that says 60 R17.
Yep.
They're slightly bigger than the tires that come on the Crown Vic. However, I like the way they fill in the fender a little bit more. And they only throw off the speedometer by about 1 to 2 miles an hour once you get in that 70 mile an hour range. Other than that, I think they handle a lot better than the Eagle RSA. I know some guys swear by those just because they're the cop issued. However, I've had Eagle RSAs on these cars, and no matter how well you can drive them, they always stand for real slick always, so they like to slide in the rain.
Okay. Yeah, those really look good. They fill in the wheel gap pretty well.
The first one I put them on there just because I'd only seen the stock tires. I was like, these things are massive, but as the time's gone by, I really like the way they fit in there.
All right. Future plans for the exterior?
Not much. Maybe a repaint down the road, even though as shiny as it is, there's still blemishes and stuff. If you want to get it back to that original perfected look, there's dents that need removed, scratches that need removed that are pretty deep, but for the most part, the paint's not terrible. I don't really have any other plans for any exterior lighting or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, I think it looks good as it is. Simple. Yeah, it has a nice little tasteful mods done to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, that's the exterior. Now, what are you running for exhaust?
So it's the stock exhaust.
Stock exhaust.
Yep,
stock
nothing
dual exhaust.
fancy on there. Yep.
And what are you running, or what are your gears? The rear gears on this car?
I think it's the can't remember the increment on it.
355s, 327s.
Because it has a nice little bit of get up and go in the city, but on the highway it doesn't exactly like to be fuel economical.
Okay, we're gonna now dive under the hood. Dun dun dun. Everybody's
Time
wondering
to see the dirt.
What's under here. We've got 4.6. Wow, what a surprise.
Wow, I've never seen one of those before.
That's right. All right, tell us what you've done or what you had to replace in terms of anything you had to do when you got the car.
So, just about everything under the hood's been replaced except for the actual engine itself.
Wow.
I just had the timing done, the oil pump, the oil sump line that goes from the oil pump into the oil pan, valve cover gaskets, spark plugs, coil packs, the intake. Don't shudder now, it's going to be the Dorman intake from AutoZone.
Ooh, the Dorman.
Yep. Did a lot of research. Some people say you lose horsepower, some people say you don't, some people say don't get them because they're crap. I honestly haven't had a problem with it since I've gotten it installed. The old one was starting to go out, started spilling coolant everywhere. Didn't exactly have time to wait for one Ford one to come in, and didn't exactly have the funds for one because they were wanting like $700. So went down to the local auto parts store and just grabbed that, and it fit perfectly fine. As long as you take your time and do everything at torque spec, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay, so ladies and gents, that is a Dorman intake manifold.
Yep, you can tell right there. There's the logo.
There's the infamous Dorman logo. Okay, so you have zero complaints about it.
Zero complaints.
And you've had it on there how long?
Probably for the last 15,000 miles.
15,000 miles.
Yeah.
Wow. And no difference in performance.
Nope,
what Kyle says.
you mash on the gas, it still goes.
It still goes, gets up and goes. So I personally will do a Dorman if I have to, unless I do run into something better or OEM. But when the car's a daily, I'm like, I don't care. Dorman, Foreman, Corman, I don't care who they are.
Yep, as long as it gets the car back on the road.
Exactly.
Just don't buy the cheapest one on Rock Auto. Then you'll be coming back to do the job again.
Okay, yeah, so okay, there's the Dorman. Okay, what do you have? We see the red coil plugs, or the coil packs.
So those are the performance packs that I saw online. It was $70 a coil pack at the Autoport store, or you could go online and get all 8 of them for about $40. I put them in there as soon as I got the car because the first thing I did was a tune-up, and I just didn't want to have the coil packs go one by one out on me.
Right.
Haven't had a problem with them. The price has gone up a little bit. They're close to about $50 now for all 8. However, they're just whatever the performance ignition coils you'll see on eBay.
Okay, so this is an eBay purchase or Amazon?
Yep,
or
eBay purchase, yep.
Okay.
One of the cool things, though, you'll note about the engine bay is the original blue hoses.
Yes.
There's been work done to this car, because you can see the aftermarket hose clamps. They're not the crimps.
Yeah.
They're just regular hose clamps. So they've done repairs under here, but they made sure to leave the original blue hoses.
Okay.
Which they're getting harder to find. If you see them in the junkyard, you want to snag them because they'll outlive any of the other hoses that you have out there.
Yeah.
As well as they're the severe duty quote unquote hoses. The original ones that Ford can sell with the car.
Okay. Now I gotta ask you, are you a motorcraft type of
So
guy?
it depends on the part. If it's a heavy use part, I try to typically stay motorcraft. Other than that, I'll deal with whatever else they have out there. Because motorcraft and some stuff, they're super expensive and it'll just run the same to get a regular part from another store.
Right. Okay. So let's see, it's pretty clean under there. Do you do much engine detailing or no?
No, just as I've gone through and had everything replaced. So all the fluids have been flushed out. The entire front end's been rebuilt. The rack pinion's even been replaced. Transmission's been replaced with the Jasper rebuilt transmission. The differential fluid I do about every 15 to 20,000 miles since it's the original differential to my knowledge, with the full synthetic gear oil. And then the entire cooling system has pretty much been replaced between the thermostat, water pump, the coolant itself, radiator, as well as just like some other auditing and stuff that's been done on there.
And I'm guessing you're running a K&N drop-in?
Yep, K&N drop-in.
Okay, what are these markings over here?
So that marking right there, the 4963, is the old unit number. So when Tampa had it, that was the vehicle number, 4963. And then what's cool is when I got this car from the auction, it actually had some of the original Tampa documentation in the glove box. So it had the registration that stated the Tampa PD on there. It had the garage maintenance forms with the unit number on there. And then when I purchased the Carfax for this car, it had about 12 pages of just maintenance because they took this to a dealership that just took amazing care of it. You could tell because it wasn't beat up when I got it.
Nice. Any future plans for under the hood?
Besides replacing that serpentine belt, probably not.
So you got some new pulleys, right?
Yep, new pulleys on there. I just had the timing done, and so I'm assuming when they put the put the belt back on, it didn't line up right, so it sheared off one of the strands. So I'll just go down to the parts store and grab a belt, throw it on there.
Yeah, I think that belt is probably the easiest thing to change on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There we go. Not bad with the Dorman and some eBay coil packs. Now our next deal of business. Now the sun's coming up.
Yep.
So we've got some nice lighting and a bunch of shadows. Now we're gonna go do the junk in the trunk.
So the trunk's pretty much empty. Just got some stickers that are on the top there. So the Gators magnet, crucifix, school emblem, tire foam. We have the original trunk tray that came with the Crown Vics after they decided they needed to do something in terms of the fires that would happen when they get rear-ended. I have a slide out tray here, full-size spare, the Welland Syncom Gold, which powers all the goodies on the inside. And then this morning when I went to Walmart, found one of the 1977 Plymouth Furies from the Terminator. No. And then I don't know if you're a vintage car person, but Porsche 944.
A Porsche 944.
Yep.
Yeah, Walmart has some really cool deals on cars. There's some bigger models I was gonna buy, but then I said, maybe tomorrow. Came back and they were gone.
And then of course, handy dandy fire extinguisher. You always want to have any of those in the car whenever you're doing anything with those.
So all the lights, that's the light setup, right?
Yes, I know the wiring looks like a rat's nest, but however, everything's got a fuse on them. Everything's been done properly. It's just I haven't cleaned up the wiring to make it look nice and pretty.
Okay. And all of this stuff was in here when you got it?
No, so the only thing in this trunk that was in here when I got it was the trunk tray.
The trunk tray.
Or the trunk storage pack.
So you like sourcing parts for this car?
Yes, yep.
Where do you source most of it?
Marketplace, junkyards, eBay. Some of it's getting harder to find, of course, just because people throw it away or it gets destroyed in the junkyard. Like I had a Crown Vic I had just gone out to just to sift through and see what they had in there, and there was a trunk pack in there since I already have when I left it, but it was just sitting out next to the car, so I guarantee it's probably gone in the dumpster now.
Nice. Okay. Any plans for your trunk?
Just cleaning it up, just like the engine bay.
Clean it.
Getting that wire looking less like a rat's nest.
That's right. All right.
Now, one of the cool things about this car, it did not have keyless entry when I got it.
Okay.
So.
And now it does.
Now it does. I had to add the module and program it.
Do all police cars come with that or don't come with that?
It is a hit or miss. It depends on if the agency that bought it had it installed, so it was part of the package.
Okay, so it's up to them to do whatever.
Yep.
Okay, what tints do you have on here?
5%.
5%.
Yep, 5% tint all around except for the windshield. The windshield has no tint on it at all except for the solar strip that's on the windshield.
So I've been in Florida for a few days, and yes, I would probably have 5% tint as well. It is way too hot for me here.
It is very hot out here.
Especially here in Orlando. I mean, it is hot. Okay, let's get inside. So the original message I received from you was an email.
Yep.
This was, I don't know, what, 6 months ago?
It was about 6 months ago. It was a while ago.
It was a while ago, and then we did a Crown Vic, and I said if anyone has a Crown Vic with all the police equipment inside and all that stuff, please hit me up. And Kyle hit me up from Florida. We're in New Jersey. He said if you're ever down here, I got all of this cool stuff in my Crown Vic. You should come check it out. Was that the email?
Yep, pretty much. Just gave you kind of the background of what's been replaced on it, sent you a nice picture of it, and then what's been done to it.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, this is a really nice one. And we came out here for my wife's schooling thing, and here we are. Okay, it's really clean in here.
Minus the floors. Floors are pretty dirty right now.
Okay, so original panels here, right?
Yep. And what you'll notice is this one, funny enough, does not have the trunk pop in the door panel.
Right.
This panel does not have it. Doesn't even have the cutout. Just has a like filler plate.
Filler plate?
Yep.
Okay.
That was the way when I got it, so I just left it alone. The wiring for it's even gone for that portion.
And no rust, nothing.
Nope, I took it up north for 4 days, came back and desalted the entire undercarriage.
No rust and no rust to come. Okay, so we got power windows, power locks, power mirrors.
Yep.
And no power seats.
Nope, just power lumbar.
Power lumbar, okay. Original seats?
Yep, original seats in the car.
Okay. And no pedal adjustment?
No pedal adjustment.
Traction control?
Nope.
Nope.
And I've actually looked for that panel piece in the junkyard. I have yet to find it. Okay. Now you'll notice that steering wheel has the cruise control option on there. It did not come with that on the car. I had to go and source one from the junkyard and then take it to Ford to have it programmed.
You took it to Ford to have it programmed?
Yep, I had to have them use the Ford IDS because ForScan does not support the calibration for the steering wheel.
Okay, nice. Works well?
It does, yep, and it's especially nice on the longer drives.
There we go. Okay, what are we running for your stereo?
So that's just a regular Pioneer single DIN radio. Yanked it from the junkyard. I had all the wiring done to it already, so just popped it in there. Replaced all the speakers with something I found on eBay. Not like some cheap Scosche speakers, but they work pretty well.
Okay, that Pioneer looks good in here.
Especially
nice
matches the age of the car. It doesn't look like it's not meant to be there.
Exactly. That's a pretty nice. Okay, so all this police equipment was here?
No. So, like everything else, I've had to source it through time to get it back to its semi-original factor. There's someone selling all the equipment you see in this car for one large bundle on Marketplace for about $150.
Okay, wow.
So I drove about an hour to go get it. Came with the center console, the partition, the window bars, I'm trying to remember the name of it, the light switch board, power inverter. The only thing it didn't come with was the camera system, which is not hooked up properly. It's all kind of static display for the car shows that I take this car to. And then the laptop tray that I had to source online because it did not have it when I got the console.
What about all these lights?
The visors, that's also from eBay. Wow. It was just a not the Amazon cheap set. I think they're Code 3. I can't recall the name of the brand.
So if anybody wanted to go buy these, what would they search? Like police lights or what?
You just look up visor lights.
Visor lights.
Yeah, they're pretty common. You can either get generic brand, which I don't recommend because if you don't know how to wire them into, you'll make your car a nice little firebox. Try to stick with the name brand stuff. There's typically inline fuses that are supplied somewhere, so it's less likely to have a wiring mishap.
Okay. Yeah, this looks really cool. Does this thing ever get in your way of driving?
No, it actually stays perfectly out of the way because that armrest in the far back helps out.
this guy here. Okay, so all these buttons, all of this stuff works?
They do, I just do not have the power plugged into them. So although this car is not my daily driver,
yep,
I leave everything unplugged, so when I'm on the road, I don't have any worry or concern that everything is going to kick on accidentally, because it is an older system. And the last thing I need is to be driving down the road and everything kicks on.
That's true. Yeah, you don't want those extra lights going off.
I know, it'll raise some questions.
Okay, we gotta check if this ticket light works. And it does. Yep. That's one of my favorite parts about a police car is those ticket lights. Okay, so back here's a shotgun holder.
Yep, so that's gonna be the shotgun rack mount. It's not hooked up to any power right now, so it doesn't open or close. Well, it's closed, but it doesn't open right now.
Yeah.
But down the road, I'll get it hooked up properly the way it needs to.
What do you mean by hooked up to the power?
It has to have a power source to actuate the electronic lock.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Is that a safety thing?
Yes. Yep. So when the car's turned off and the vehicle is parked in a parking lot, you can't get into it and remove it.
Okay.
And then when the car's running, the officer is the only one that knows the combination for the lock itself.
Okay, that makes sense. Man, look at this paint here. That is beautiful. I've never seen a blue Crown Vic like this before. Okay, let's take a look in the back. All the equipment is there. Okay, so everything you've installed yourself?
Yep. Tell you what, that partition was an interesting day, trying to cram that in there as one person.
So all these cutouts, everything here is you had to cut the panels off?
So, as you've noticed, I like to source parts. What I did was, before I installed this partition, I went out to the junkyard and I found pre-cut trim panels.
Wow.
So the original panels that came with the car that are not cut are in my garage because I did not want to cut any paneling. So I replaced the paneling with pre-cut pieces off another Crown Vic in the junkyard, so that way I wouldn't be defacing the panels that I had. So if I ever remove this or want to put the car back to another state where all this stuff's removed and it doesn't look like it was even there, I'm able to do so.
Nice. So there's still quite a few parts out there if somebody wanted to do this.
Yeah, it's just getting harder and harder because a lot of them are taxi cabs, so a lot of that stuff's already been removed.
Okay.
And a lot of it's gone to like the crusher or in the dumpster or landfill.
Or Cletus gets them.
Or Cletus gets them, yeah. This is one car he won't get.
Stay away from this one.
Yep. Won't be on the chopping block anytime soon in his racetrack. Thankfully, he's switching over to the Rangers.
Okay, so he's doing a bunch of derby, right?
Yeah. He actually just set up a Crown Vic with an RC remote controller, and then after a few minutes of driving, he crashed it into a wall.
Oh, typical.
Yep.
All right. You ever give anybody rides back here?
Sometimes. They say it's a lot more fun because they know the destination isn't the jail, so. But my friends get a kick out of it.
You could do a ride in the back of a police car, $5.
Yeah.
The experience.
Oinkers never complains. He's the one sitting in the back seat there.
Yeah, this is Mr. Who he said?
Oinkers.
Oinkers. He's just chilling back there. He don't care.
He's even wearing a seatbelt, setting an example.
Original seat back here?
Yes, yep. Did not come with the mismatched leather, came with the actual fabric in the back.
Yeah.
And working door panels. So you can get in and out from the inside.
Yeah, okay, so if you ever have a criminal back there, he can jump out.
He can jump out.
Yeah, go free, buddy.
Yeah, adios, man.
Okay, wow, I think that's a pretty in-depth review. Anything else you plan for the interior of the car?
Not really at this time. I mean, everything else is pretty much hooked up. The only thing I might do is just clean it up, maybe replace some of the old systems in there, maybe make it up to date with the newer system.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it's not my daily driver. It sits in the garage most of the time. So it's just garage kept, and then I'll take it out for car shows or events.
People love this thing at the car shows, huh?
Oh, they do. It's
classic.
funny. It'll get more looks than a vintage Corvette.
Yeah.
I'll have people come up and ask me, and they're like, how long did it take you to get all this stuff? And I'll tell them, and they really enjoy it because it's an iconic car. You've seen it in all kinds of blockbuster movies. You've seen it on TV shows. You've seen it in person. Yeah, my shirt there.
Yeah, we see it on your. That's a cool. Where'd you get that shirt?
eBay.
eBay?
Yeah.
That's a cool. Yeah, it's like a lowered black Crown Vic. Got Vic. Cool. All right. Well, what do we got? You got a couple of minutes for a ride?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. We'll go take it for a spin. Let me take all this wiring.
Yep.
Do what you want with that.
Clip that bad boy up here. So I actually have something for you. I made these. I give them out sometimes at car show events. It's a sticker, cop chip included.
Nice.
Since a lot of people always go, is there a cop chip in there? And I have to tell them, no, that does not exist.
Well, with this sticker, we know that the car was now come with a cop chip. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This will
Little
go
Florida
somewhere.
souvenir.
Yeah, this will go somewhere on my marquee. Probably not stuck on there, but it will be in there. Okay.
All right.
Let me buckle myself up.
What's nice is since the timing's been done and everything else is done, you can whomp on it and not worry about the chain just slapping off.
Mr. Winker's over there.
I know he ain't going nowhere.
Okay, before we end this video, what I do want to see is the lights go on.
Yep.
When we get a chance to park to see these lights. It's really quiet in here.
It is. I actually put sound dampening throughout the entire car.
Did you?
Yep. That was a long project. Every single panel off, the floor removed, and just went on Amazon and got some Amazon basic sound dampening, which really made it a lot quieter in this car.
Wow, it's kind of heavy though, no?
No.
It's not heavy
It's
material?
not heavy, no.
Wow.
It's fractional. I mean, they're not racing this thing, so. But I don't feel a difference. But it's made it a lot nicer on the road since you're not hearing all the wind noise because it's just between metal and plastic.
Yeah, even my marquee gets pretty loud.
Everyone loves that nice red line.
Yeah, that thing picks up really nice, and the shifting was so smooth.
Mm-hmm.
You said you had the transmission replaced. What happened to your old one?
So I just did it at age. I've had 3 Crown Vics, and every single one at one point the transmission has said "see ya," and the rear main seal. I don't know what it is about every car I've owned. The rear main seal tends to go out. So I just decided before I got stranded or started doing the slip shifting, I went out and actually found a Jasper transmission and had it tossed in there and had the rear main seal replaced.
What does Jasper mean?
So Jasper's just one of the big brands for the rebuilt transmissions and engines.
Okay.
So I actually scored this transmission, had about 10,000 miles on it, and then the guy that had it in his car, he rolled it. So after he rolled it, they pulled the transmission out because it had just been replaced, and then had it on Marketplace. So I went out there and got it.
Now, how much is a Jasper run if you were to get a regular, let's say, junkyard transmission that works?
So a junkyard transmission, hit or miss, $120.
Okay.
A Jasper rebuilt off the box shelf, about $3,800.
Wow.
I got mine for $1,200.
Okay. Is it coming like with something performance in there, or just a fully rebuilt?
Just the fully rebuilt. You can get what's called a J-mod done on these cars.
Okay. I know the J-mod.
Yep. I've wanted to do it to this car just because it's very popular. But I have yet to do that.
Okay.
But that with a Marty Aux tune, pretty nice.
You don't have the Marty tune?
No. I would do that as soon as I got a J-mod done.
Okay.
But there's not a lot of guys out there that are performing that.
I heard some mixed reviews on the Marty tune.
Now, I will say this. I was chasing a squeak. And if you guys have a Crown Vic and you're chasing a squeak, this took me months in forums, okay? Before you go nuts replacing every bushing, every bearing in your car, I want you to try this trick. Take electrical tape, wrap it around the hood latch, and then close your hood and drive around.
Okay.
I kid you not. That was one of the,
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna do... Okay, so electrical tape on the hood latch?
Electrical tape on the hood latch. And the reason why that is what happens over the time of the hood bouncing while you're driving, it wears off the protective coating on it, and it's metal on metal, and that's that squeaking sound.
Oh, man.
So I tried it out. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. Don't go crazy with it, because then you'll have problems with your hood. But it has actually worked to the point where I was like, well, I'll be damned. I replaced all of these front end pieces looking for this noise, and it was just the hood latch.
And your whole front end is replaced, by the way, right?
Yep, whole front end, everything. But I mean, in hindsight, it rides like a new car at 200,000. So no complaints
really
there.
Well in here, yeah, it definitely rides nice. Very quiet, very solid.
Yeah,
but at the same time, not as stiff as some of the Crown Vics I've been in.
Yeah, I have the Monroe shocks. I'm not sure if that makes a difference. The severe duty.
Yeah.
They say they ride as good as OEM, but they ride a lot better than what was in there. So.
Yeah, it drives very nice. Got good pickup. Okay, let's see them lights, I guess, huh?
Yep. We'll click them on for a second.
All right. There we go. Yeah, that looks all just white LEDs, huh? Yep. Let me see how the back looks. So it's not red or blue. No. It's not gonna, pretty much can't get in trouble for them, right?
No, and plus I leave them unplugged while I'm driving, so.
Okay, nice, that looks really good. Boom, done, just like that. Well, Kyle, thank you for your time.
No worries.
You have a really clean, very nice Crown Vic. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one.